Hey guys, so we're gonna do another vid. I can't believe I'm gonna talk about him again. I know I and the one my one video has only got a little bit of views on it. Let me just double check. More people need to see the video that I posted. I guess it last night. It would be last night. Sometimes my days are a blur, guys. I work from home back there. I work here. I'm doing all kinds of stuff and everything, trying to keep up, with everything that's going on. I'm trying to. I want to get some midterm stuff out. But man, I went down that Herschel Walker rabbit hole in this, and I knew to do it. Like, I guess, see, that's what thing. I knew to do it. I knew we need to talk about this topic, not just really to bash on the dude. It's not all about that. It's deeper than that, and I want to go just a little deeper with the message I feel kind of Spirit wants to say, and I definitely want to say it. I'm not going to say it's all Spirit. Me too, me as well. But hold on one second. I just want to peeky at something. Let me just go ahead. I know Teresa's on it. I know Teresa's on it and everything on my comments. But yeah, hopefully that will get a little bit more views because people need to be aware of the hypocrisy. But this is what I want to talk about. So let me get to it. Hold on. Let me pull up and get ready for it. Okay. So what I did the first vid, I did the midterms 2022 part 1. And remember, guys, the midterm elections are incredibly important. They're just as, if not more, important than the presidency. And we should know that and have seen that with House and Senate. And man, I wish we could be the voters of the Supreme Court. Okay. But it is what it is. That's another story to be told another time. That's a major issue, though. Okay, we understand the importance, and also why pro-lifers have been wanting to pack that for a long time. We all know that. Okay. So this is really critical, though, if there's any kind of hope, especially what we could do. I got my shirt on for women's rights, of course. There's a whole lot, but everybody is like, Republicans want to make everything House Senate red, and of course, Democrats House Senate blue, and try to get some things done, and it's real messy right now, but really it's coming down to the wire. What changes this country is going to have, what it's about to turn into, so this. And then 2024 and all that. We're at such a critical time. This is probably one of the most critical times we've been at in a long time. And I know everybody is feeling it. Everybody feels it, whether you're psychic or not, that this is the what America is going to be. Just like I said on my vid, if you want to know your past, look into your present conditions. If you want to know your future, look into your present actions. So how these votes go, especially just within a month, guys, just within a month, is really going to set the tone of things to come a lot and stuff. And it's so there's so much, but especially women, and that's why I talk about in the midterms and everything. Look at you all need to be looking at like the women of Iran, or no, maybe that's another video I did. Never mind. But either way, don't think that can't happen. Oh yeah, I did talk about it in. No, that was the one before. Never mind, I'm getting confused. Okay, but anyway, don't think that what's going on with the women in Iran can't happen here. Like if Christian nationalists could take over and do their thing. Could women lose the right to vote? Could women be considered half a person? Don't think there are pastors in churches saying women shouldn't vote. There's so much. There's so much that feminism needs to be purged out of minds. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot on the line. So I'm here for it. But the reason why I'm starting to get very passionate about this Herschel Walker issue, okay. This is a big thing, and let me explain why. And I'm gonna spill a little more tea. There are some other articles I'm gonna add to this, and yes, I will get the part 2 midterms, and there may be more parts. I'm gonna do other candidates. I really want to read on this, and get a lot out there. And I don't know how much my stuff will be seen. You never know. One video might be little, some big. You never know how it goes. Okay. I just throw it out there, and whatever happens, who's meant to see it will see it. I understand that. And some people may come back years later going, that lady was right. I don't know. I'm just going to throw it out there. Okay. But the thing with this whole Herschel Walker is a lot really so similar to Trump in many ways. Okay, because there's some con, even with businesses in his history that's proven. Okay, conning veterans, even certain things with businesses, the lies. Okay, lying about the academic record. I believe Trump did a little bit of that, with it about his grades and all that, where there were people, even teachers, that said he was a horrible student. And Herschel Walker made very big, bloated claims about being like a valedictorian. Said he graduated Georgia, I believe, with honors and all that stuff. And he didn't even graduate Georgia, University of Georgia, when he was playing football and all that. So, but yeah, saying he was, the valedictorian in high school, that's a high, big claim. And did whole motivational speeches on it. Okay, there's a lot. But there's also a lot with his main marriage that was about 20 plus years to his one wife, who she's been she has done an interview, but she's not out there wanting to be real vocal. She's that's one of the things they've talked about, kind of stepping out of that. But definitely his son Christian is very vocal. And if you watch the video I did last night, I show his vid. A little bit what Candace Owen had to say. I talked a little bit about that. I was really looking at that, like, what will she come down on? I would have liked to see her come down on Herschel Walker, but maybe she still wants to kind of see what's going on. And I know there's probably a whole lot. Oh, he's a Republican. Oh shit, we lose Georgia. Maybe there's, I'm sure there's a little of that in there, but at least she didn't sit there and throw the kid under the bus in support of Herschel and things. She knows it's messy. She's not stupid. And let me, even as I sit here, I'm going to get the selenite wand, because woo, the negativity just reading these articles, guys. There's also history of domestic violence. It looks like Herschel is somewhat admitted to it, kind of blames it on some dissociative disorder. And yes, his wife apparently, his ex-wife, I should say, I think wrote a book in there. There's a whole lot with that. And this was the thing that Christian was talking about, if you watch that video I did, that the whole thing, maybe why he even went into support in the beginning, try to support his dad, was because there was a whole thing that, I'm going to be accountable for the past. That was the main thing that at least he was sold. But then other lies and lies and lies start coming out, and he can't take it anymore. And now he's like, because he's sick of seeing, his dad getting up there and just lying about everything. He's lying a whole lot. And the recent abortion thing is a big lie. And we pulled the devil card. If you watch the vid, I pulled the devil card right when I asked, is he lying? Okay, I pulled the devil card, guys. Okay. So, so he did. He wrote a check, but here's about, at first it came out, the Daily Beast, spilled the tea. Just, I think, was it Monday? Just a few days ago. Yeah, Monday. There it is. That Herschel Walker in 2009 paid a girlfriend to have an abortion. Now he's running under the Republican, ticket for Senate in Georgia, and he wants to ban. He supports a ban on abortion, a ban. Okay, so he's running under that, and then he does this. Okay, here we are. So this is why I'm very, I knew this was going to be some big stuff, and let's get into it and stuff. And I already knew about the abortion thing when I talked about it with the midterms, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Just the issue and the hypocrisy and lies. Like I said, real bad domestic violence. So guys, that there's even weapons and all kind, and you could look at all that there. There's some very ugly history with him and his wife, but also the affairs, get another woman pregnant. He's just like Christian said, he's got 4 kids with 4 different women. This is not a family values kind of guy at all. And this is all, I don't know exactly, what got him to want to run or who propped him up to run. And then also he's obviously been banged around with some football stuff, and there's no way he has any kind of knowledge of how to handle things like being a senator. We could probably pretty much understand that he's not knowledgeable and he's not smart. certain things he said are so idiotic that he's not even in tune with anything with that has anything to do with reality. I don't even understand, why this is even happening. Okay, and I'm telling you, it's just like Trump. Trump is not the sharpest tool in the shed. He had no knowledge of politics and things like that. And stuff. But everybody wanted to prop him up as it's got so bad. What mental illness has come over this country that people are propping up Trump as a messiah? Okay, a literal messiah, a deity. Okay, there's so much there. I mean, there's I saw, what was it, a video? Oh God, there's a quote I took down. Let me see if I can find. I just gotta. Somebody said something. Oh my God, if I can find it. I'm not sure if I know how to get to a certain website here. Hold on one sec. What is this little guy? Is that my bookmark? Where's my bookmark? Okay, hold on one second. Oh no, hold on. Yep, there they are. Okay, hold on one sec. Let me just give me a moment if I can. Ah, shoot, I'm not sure. Give me a moment. You got to hear the quote, though. If I can find it. Oh, my God. Okay, good. I made it. Okay. All right. Just whatever. Just, okay. Hold on one sec. Where is... Give me a moment. Okay. Yeah, like this is the thing I kind of edited in another space, and I was kind of editing about Christian nationalists and the craziness, and but yeah, okay. Here was a quote. It was on a YouTube. I don't remember which YouTube it was. Maybe I'll post it later in the community. But there was some like some pastor somewhere said saying no to President Trump would be saying no to God. Somebody actually says this in a YouTube, some Christian nationalists compares, if you say no to Trump, you're saying no to God. It's scary stuff, guys. So I just wanted to throw that in real quick. So anyway, so there's a whole lot, so many similarities with Herschel Walker as far as what is happening with like just like Trump, that had he's certainly not a Christian. He's not a Messiah. He's not. But they're wanting to prop this guy up, who is completely has nothing to do with any kind of family values, conservative issues. He's paying for abortions for people and all this stuff, and they're so desperate that they got to win Georgia. They're going to keep trying to support him, regardless. So yeah, so let's talk about. Hold on one sec. And now that I went to that, I think I just lost something. So hold on one sec, just a minute. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and pull up. Okay, so Herschel Walker and Daily Beast and paid his girlfriend for an abortion. Let me find the recent, because this is the thing. We know an unknown woman. At first, the Daily Beast said an unknown woman, Herschel that was dating Herschel Walker, paid for her to have an abortion. Well, she's there. They haven't given the name yet, but this woman is the mother of one of the kiddos. Okay, so there was an abortion first, but then there was another pregnancy, and the woman did have the kid. So this is not just some obscure woman coming out of nowhere, out of left field. This is a person who actually is the mother of one of his kids. And she has a kid, but she also had an abortion, and he wrote her a check and sent her a get well card. Okay, so let's talk about it. So this is updated October 6th, which is today. This was just posted a few hours ago with the Daily Beast. She had an abortion with Herschel Walker. She also had a child with him, is the title. And it says, "Mum's the word." So here we go. Herschel Walker. Okay, so here comes more tea. Okay, After, let me make sure I'm not going to, oh good, I am charged, perfect. After a woman revealed that Republican senatorial candidate Herschel Walker had urged her to have an abortion, Walker adamantly, and this is why, adamantly denied this story and claimed he had no idea who this woman can be. Well, maybe it was the football. I don't know. No, he knows. You don't forget things like this. I don't care. But there's another good reason the woman finds that defense highly doubtful. She's the mother of one of his children. There's no way. This cannot be some I don't know, no. When the woman first told the Daily Beast her story, and they're still not revealing her name, but we can narrow it down that she's got a kid with him, okay? When the woman first told the Daily Beast her story, we agreed, this is the Daily Beast, not to reveal certain details about her identity over the concerns for safety and privacy. So there maybe some domestic violence, okay? Because you remember, there's, what happened with the ex-wife, and this came after the divorce. The violence, the stalking, there's some horrible stuff that woman went through. Okay, when I started, okay. But anyway, we agreed not to reveal certain details about her identity over concerns for safety and privacy. But then Walker categorically denied the story and said he didn't know who was making this allegation. On Wednesday morning, so that would be yesterday, Fox News host Brian Kilmeade asked Walker whether he had figured out the woman's identity based on details in the original report. Not at all, Walker replied. And that's what I hope everyone can see. It's sort of like everyone is anonymous or everyone is leaking and they want you to confess to something you have no clue about. Okay, so now I know there's people could, let's just, let me play devil's advocate. It's going to be a joke, but let me play devil's advocate. Yes, there are people, say the anonymous, this, that, whatever happens. But I don't think things can happen like that. Absolutely. And I'm sure there was, and I could maybe humor that some people would say, that's an anonymous person coming out with something, right? So should we give any credentials if they won't show who they are? I can understand to a degree, except the Daily Beast also said there was a check involved, there's receipts, and apparently the Daily Beast saw handwriting. I'd even Christian confirmed that's his handwriting. Okay, if you watch my vid over there, I'm pointing there like it, because I'm on a thumbnail somewhere. Okay. Anyway, so he's denying it. He's basically, and he's lying. I got the devil card yesterday. Okay. All right. So he's lying, and it's coming out more and more credible though. This is somebody who actually birthed one of his kids. Walker then spun the report as an attack from desperate Democrats eager to maintain control of the pivotal Senate seat. Instead of being deterred by his now public hypocrisy, he says he now feels energized. Oh, you do? Oh, my Lord. This would deflate my balloon if somebody came after me with this. If I'm, running on a platform, oh, yeah, we're going to ban abortion and stuff. They see me as a big threat, and I know that I knew it when I got into this race, but they don't realize that I think they came for the wrong one. They energize me, Walker said. They energize me because I know how they really want to try to keep this seat. That's all well and good, but this is the nature of the, it's kind of funny, it's called the Daily Beast. That's the nature of the beast. When it comes to politics and things like that, if you've got any skeletons in the closet, they will come out. Okay, that's what, and should they come out, if people are claiming to be one way and they're a completely other person, just like say Trump and all that, when the porn star, and that's the way it is. It's the if somebody's running for office and they're going to make laws and they're trying to get people to support them based on not only an image of who they are, what they represent, what they believe in, and what they're going to do when they get in the office for people, that should be in alignment with what they're about. I think Candace Owens, last night, she kind of made a comment, what if he's, some kind of decoy, like a leftist or something, getting in there and he's going to vote different. He's I don't know what he is. Okay, I will say that, but he's definitely not what he claims to be, and he's a liar. He's lied about so many things and stuff, and we're going to talk about some stuff here. I'm going to keep going, but anyway, you got to hear this. As far as the threat, though, I feel there's a lot. Let me just go on. I'm going to unpack a lot, and there's a lot I want to say on this. Why it's really important, because this happened with Trump. Here we go again with the lies, the audacity, the ridiculousness, and how anybody, a party could support a person, okay, like this, when they have certain, values that they're supposed to stand by. What does that really say? But, oh no, party over, the party has, and all this stuff. It's just, when you really should just throw this guy down and probably vote the other way to make a statement. Because, see, if you did that, then maybe people would stop trying to, come out here trying to be something they're not and get away with it. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, just saying. Okay, the anonymous woman said the defense sounded ridiculous, the whole thing. And she says, sure, I was stunned, but I guess it also doesn't shock me that maybe there are just so many of us that he truly doesn't remember. Oh, I bet he's had quite a few. She said, but then again, if he really forgot about it, that says something too. She's right. She's right in the sense that, say it's just a whoops, it escaped my mind, right? That would be a pretty sad thing to forget about, because any woman who has had an abortion, this is not, just like I said, it's, obviously, I'm pro-choice, but still, it's not an easy thing for any woman to go through that. You're never going to forget it. It can be a very difficult, painful, for whatever reason that gets a person there to make that move, right? Okay, so the woman, she is a Democrat. She does admit she's a Democrat, and she's registered, whose years-long relationship with Walker, so she was with for quite some time, continued after the abortion, told the Daily Beast that her chief concern with revealing her name was because she is the mother of one of Walker's own children, as she wanted to protect her family's privacy as best she could, while also coming forward with the truth. Now, if she sees what's going on with, say, Christian and the mother and them being dragged through stuff, you can see how upset Christian is. And he's still a tough guy, but he's still, there's a lot of trauma. Okay, he needs therapy. He needs some help, therapy, and this, I'm sure, has just ripped open some wounds, and like I said last night, trying to navigate the audacity of all this is got to be very difficult. So she probably sees what's going on with that. It's like, I don't want my kid. I don't want them coming after my kid and trying to interview and drag us all, but she wants to get her statement out. I understand. I understand where she's coming from. So she's not, I don't feel this woman is trying to be, like sneaky or deceptive or, stuff like that. But she's obviously bringing this up, for a reason, because she said, oh, he wants to ban abortion, but the audacity, okay? The audacity, okay? I understand. I mean, like, yeah, what about, you remember, I know who you really are, okay? And this was probably not an easy thing. She probably did get pressured, to have it. Who knows, okay? Oh, okay. But even with the woman remaining anonymous, the story still has rocked Walker's family in other ways. Yes. After Walker denied the report, one of his 3 sons, conservative social media influencer Christian Walker, and he is very conservative. He is a Trump supporter, guys. Released a series of angry statements and videos condemning his dad as a liar and alleging that the University of Georgia football hero has threatened to murder him and his mother, Walker's ex-wife. So can you imagine, not just his mother, and that's, he's going to be protective of his mama, is what I said last night, but him too. This is sad, so, and he's trying to, like I said, navigate the audacity. This is, and even Trump, I don't, okay, porn star, there's things, and I know there's been some essay allegations over the years, but, as far as Herschel has taken, like, say, domestic violence and weapons and stalking, because apparently even after the woman divorced, he's stalking her, and she had a boyfriend and threatened do everybody in. There's a whole lot of stuff this fam has went through. Okay, there's a whole lot. Okay, so okay, I know my mom and I would really appreciate if my father, Herschel Walker, stopped lying and making a mockery of us. Christian Walker tweeted after the abortion story broke Monday night. You're not a family man when you left us to bang a bunch of women, threatened to kill us, and had us move over 6 times in 6 months running from your violence. Okay. And see, and one of the things, if you watch the video, okay, watch the one where I talk about the one with him, and you'll see Christian on the thumbnail. There he said, one of the things is, like even all the beginning, this, that, whatever, he could have like just gave all kinds of stories and tales, and he didn't do that. He's trying, not to go there, but he also warned him in that video, don't test me. He's like, don't test me because it's gonna come if you keep coming for me and my mom, and stuff. He's fed up and everything, but that's gotta be hell on earth hard, and he's fed up with Republicans and Democrats. People say, well, why like say if Democrats are like, well, why did you go to Mar-a-Lago and so on, and then people are, I know, I get it, I understand. The anonymous woman said that while she's been a good sport, this is in quotes, about the campaign after Walker's denial, she could no longer keep this information from the public. I've been very civil thus far. I've kept my mouth shut. I don't cause any trouble. I stay in the background. But I'm also not going to get run over time and time again. That's crazy. So it's not only, she's, seeing all this stuff and, and everything. And she probably just, I'm going to say it. And then for him to come out and deny it and all that, even threaten to sue, the news. Walker and his campaign have put out seemingly conflicting messages to battle the story, denying it on one hand as a lie, while also appealing to themes of religious redemption and forgiveness. On the other, the devil! Okay, remember, I pulled the devil card, guys. On Wednesday, Walker put out a new ad where he discusses overcoming his struggles with mental health by the grace of God. Okay, now I briefly just said some things about that. Okay, as far as last night, blaming mental health on acts like this. I have some strong views, even when, like I said, I dealt with some bipolar disorder. I feel I'm healed. There's a long story. It's somewhere in my Look in Spirit Talk. It's somewhere that I talk about some things, okay? I think I have a my story, something like that. I go into detail, and I know there are people who say, oh, bipolar, you should go off meds. Go watch my thing. But I do say, if you're bipolar and taking meds, don't go off it and just, anyway, I'm just saying. But, and I know there are cases, sometimes mental illness could there be an influence making someone violent or this, that, potentially, but there is still, what I want to say is, a person is still conscientious the majority of the time, unless there's maybe something crazy like schizophrenia, okay? Still can be conscientious of things. It really depends. He has dissociative identity disorder, is apparently his thing, and stuff. But he's still conscientious of what he did. I guess is, if there was more schizophrenia and things, there now then we're talking. We got the voices, we got weird stuff. Like when I did my vid about the one mother who drowned all the kids, and there was, I understand people can snap, crack, do things. We talked about Andrea Gates. I go into that. It kind of depends, and that's where I say I know it can happen, certain things with violence, but it's normally some kind of snap break from reality, strange, bizarre, versus this is a dragged out thing for a long time kind Okay, you said I'm saying versus a snap, and then something crazy happens, like what happened with Andrew Yates and the one mother. I have the video in there, and I know that's a very difficult and it can be hard to understand. Let me just explain. As a matter of fact, let's just to explain. And I'm not saying I'm a mental health professional, but just knowing that what like I had a full psychosis moment, guys. I had a full. So I understand what, like, losing mind and losing touch with reality, but it's like, even in psychosis, I would still have been a conscious enough person picking up a weapon. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But let me go ahead and just, what is dissociative identity disorder? Okay. A rare psychological disorder in which two or more...
Dissociative identity disorder. A rare psychological disorder in which two or more personalities with distinct memories and behavior patterns apparently exist in one individual.
Okay, so that's like multiple personality disorder. So, but then again, there's a whole lot I can unpack on multiples. There's a whole lot, because I know that, God, how do I say it? I would have to know a lot more history. And stuff. I know it can happen, obviously. I remember reading the book Sybil many years ago when I was a kid. And there was another book I read. I think, what was it called? The Shoemaker. Oh my God. Why did I read books like that when I was a teenager? I don't know. Very, so I know there could be certain, there are things that can happen with that. But then I know also, okay, I do know also, and I'm not going to say, because I'm not a therapist thing, but there are people obviously that maybe could go down for a crime that have claimed like maybe some temporary insanity, and they faked personality disorders to try to get out of stuff. Okay, multiple personalities. Definitely, there's been that too. There's a whole lot, and just because somebody also, let me claim, just because somebody has multiple, or just, I guess they call it dissociative nowadays, doesn't mean that, I guess you could say that you have to have an abusive personality. Okay, so how authentic is the actual dissociative? Could it have been used? Could we have manipulated a therapist? Like I said, I'm not a doctor, and I would think a doctor should be hip enough to know if that is happening, though I know manipulative people can be very good at manipulating doctors, though I know they're also trained to be prepared for that. So that's kind of a little bit of that. So there's a whole lot with that. So yeah, you can still have certain personalities, but at the same time, and we're obviously, and what I'm saying is, one lose consciousness of where personality switches to, how do I say this? But they're normally also in those cases that I know of, just from what I read on it many years. I did a little college in there. No, I didn't finish. I never said I did. But anyway, there's normally some kind of heavy trauma abuse in there, and maybe Herschel Walker did go through something. Okay, I don't know his whole thing with his fam, but either way, he's a grown man, and whatever, if you've got a problem, you should get some help in therapy and work on stuff. Okay, but so there's a whole lot I could probably say on that, and it looks like the ex-wife did write a book on that. Some things there. So there's probably a little bit of trying to redeem, and I've got this problem and this and that, but I still, could he have lost 100% consciousness and switches into this very dark thing? I'm real hard pressed on those, because I know it's rare. Okay, and just like it says, even here, a rare psychological disorder, guys, and just like I said, rare. This is not a real common thing. And like I said, normally what is a cause, from my understanding, from my reading, what I remember. And if anybody happens to be a psychologist who's watching, or therapist, I would love your input if you know. And you probably haven't met many people like this, but maybe studied versus actually had a patient with it. That there's normally some kind of very, very heavy trauma that causes the mind to split, where another personality takes over to cope for something that the one cannot. Okay, and things like that. So there's a whole. I didn't expect a big tangent. So it's there's a whole lot with that. No matter, the family has suffered, and as he is doing this whole thing, he is conscious of his lies. We know that. We know he's conscious of his lies. Now, what's he going to do? Switch? Well, I must have been one personality when I wrote the check for the abortion. Come on, guys. Okay, he knows. Walker in his campaign has put out seemingly conflict messages to battle the story, denying it on one hand as a lie, while also appealing to themes of religious redemption, and forgiveness on the other. On Wednesday, Walker put out a new ad where he discusses overcoming his struggles with mental health by the grace of God. I get all that. There is a whole lot. Please forgive me. I understand that forgiveness is an awesome thing on the path. People, hopefully working on redeeming themselves. That's all well and good, except he's still lying. Okay? He's still lying about all kinds of stuff. And he's lying to Georgia. He's lying to his supporters. He's lying. Everything is a lie. Okay? But if Walker is seeking redemption for the abortion, see, this is the thing. This is what would have made it cleaner. Let's say, before I read that paragraph. Sam Herschel Walker. Okay, I have passed. Okay, let's just pretend. Hey, I got a pass. And I'm redeemed, and I'm with God. I'm with the Lord. And now I'm pro-life. Maybe in my past, I was a womanizer. I was abusive. I was bad to my kids. Whatever. And I'm working on my redemption. Now this woman comes out, and I know he's conscientious enough to know, because he had another kid with this woman. And she brings out spills the tea about this abortion. If he was really trying to redeem himself with the Lord, okay, bear with me. This would be a fine opportunity to show that, he really is working on his stuff as a Christian, and be like, you know what? Right now I am Christian. I am about family values. In past, okay, yes, I did. The mother of my one child, I did pay for abortion. If he wants to kind of go into I regret my actions, I should have supported her, baby, whatever. Or maybe, or maybe say or maybe he would say, I don't want to get into personal business, because I'm sure it's a difficult thing for her to revisit, and she has her reasons for coming out. But I just want to say, that this was a difficult time of my life. I wasn't thinking. I was a different person. I'm very sorry. And maybe make a public apology even to the woman. I'm very sorry that this me running for office. I've had to revisit. That pain has been revisited on you. I'm very sorry for that. I know I look like a jerk being pro-life, but now that I've kind of grown involved with the Lord, I have a newer understanding about what life is about, and so that's why my views are here. But I'm very sorry. Please forgive me that when we had this moment in time, that you see what I'm saying. Let me just stop, because I could go on a big long thing. Would it, if he was truly redeemed, okay, really trying to get right with the Lord, okay, instead of pointing the finger that direction to the other and saying it's all BS and I'm innocent and it's about the Dems coming after me, that doesn't show me somebody who's really looking for redemption. People that look for authentic, I want to say authentic redemption, whether it's with Jesus, whether it's with the Christ, whether it's as a Christian, whether it's as a spiritualist like me, whatever it may be, will try to own up in some way authentically. And this could have been a moment where he could have shown a true character that it's better just to own up what you did. Okay, if you're running on a ticket, okay, where you're about being pro-life, and where your supporters, people who have, paid money for your campaign and are supposed to vote for you, that you're supposed to vote the way they, or go to work and do things because this is what they believe, right? That's a real God-fearing, God-loving Christian man. Let's just, however you want to put it. Somebody that's really seeking redemption. Someone who is remorseful now for sins of the past, sins of the father, whatever you want to call it, would own up and be honest, because Jesus, is definitely about, being honest, tell the truth. Hey, we've all told lies. But if you're going to come in here, is the whole redemptive man a lie too? Well, it must be, because he's pointing the other finger that way and going, it's a lie. She's lying. The Daily Beast is lying. As a matter of fact, let's sue. Let's sue the Daily Beast, right? That's wrong, and that's a bunch of horse shit. Okay, that's a bunch of horse shit to be not only putting it that direction, and now she's pissed, as she put out, let me just put a little bit more out there. We got a kid together. Okay, and Christian's sick of his shit, because he's got, there's a sibling involved, and he didn't spill the tea on that. Probably because he's trying to respect the privacy of this half kid, brother or sister. I don't know what, the child, but this woman, obviously now we understand a little bit more why she's trying to be anonymous, because not only does she not want to be dragged through, she's also thinking of her safety, but she doesn't want her kid, everybody showing the kid of this. I understand that. I respect that. Okay. So do you see what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm at here? A true redemptive person would admit it, own up to it, apologize at least for it. If this is now where he stands on something like that, please forgive me. Also to the peeps. I mean, even the freaking pastors, if they get caught having sex with a prostitute, have gone up to the podium and cried begging for forgiveness. He can't even do that. And and a lot of times they do it, because they're not really sorry. They just got caught, right? I understand that's hypocrisy too. But at least they do that. At least they do that. He's just still continuing. Okay, so that makes him even worse. Okay, than the Jerry Falwellers or whoever have done that in the past, right? Okay, except, and then that whole forgiveness. There's a whole thing I could unpack on that, but let's not go there. But I just want to say that is how somebody, if they're really honest to God, trying to redeem themselves, their soul, get right with God, Jesus, whatever. I don't need to go on anymore, right? You understand what I'm saying. Okay. Asked about the role faith played in Walker's life, the anonymous woman who identifies as Christian herself. So she's a Democrat Christian, just like, Raphael Warnock. I want to hopefully say that name right. He is a preacher, okay, Baptist minister or something. Okay, anyway, here we go. Who identifies as Christian herself, and even though Walker often talked about Christianity, he uses it when it works for him. Thank you, ma'am. That's what it looks like. Thank you, ma'am. That's what it looks like. So he's talked about, the Lord here, there, but when it works for him. Yes, ma'am. Okay. She said Walker frequently talked about being a Christian, but never once expressed any misgivings about abortion generally, or any regret about the one that they had. When she got pregnant again years later, the woman said she made a different choice, even though Walker said it still wasn't a convenient time for him. Well, it is, right? It's never convenient for the woman either. Well, no, there are so obviously people plan, but you know what I'm saying. If it's a surprise, it's like, he didn't express any regret. He said, relax and recover after the abortion, right? The woman recalled, alluding to the message on the get well card Walker sent her along with the abortion payment, which he wrote a check. Okay. He seemed pretty pro-choice to me. He was pro-choice, obviously, she said. I don't think there's anywhere in the Bible where it says have 4 kids with 4 different women while you're with another woman. Or what? Okay, so there's, okay. Or where it praises not being a present parent. Or that an abortion is an okay thing to do when it's not the right time for you. but a terrible thing for anyone else to do when you are running for Senate. Thank you, ma'am. That's what we all are saying about this issue. And like I said, I'm not just, let's just, because he's Republican. No. I'm above and beyond this. If he was like I said, if you watch my midterms, I talked about McCain. I said he was a good man. Okay, it's, and that's the thing. There's character. Okay, maybe he's Republican. Maybe we differ on a few things, but that's a good man. And there are a lot of people out there, that if a person is a good person, maybe I don't agree with your policies and stuff, but you're a good person. Okay, you know what I'm saying? This guy's not a good person. Okay, but anyway, she's making a serious point and stuff. But this is what the Republican Party's coming down to, thanks to a Trump. Okay, this is what it's getting real bad. It used to be back in the day, Republicans, Democrats. Like I said, my parents were Republican. Okay, and they weren't like this. They were old. They were very old school. Whatever. They weren't even religious at all. Okay, they weren't even religious. It was more fiscal. Things like that. Fiscally, government stay out of stuff. And my dad fought a couple, wars in his past. World War II and Korean War. He was considerably older than my mom. Okay, so there's, and everything. This whole Trump thing, I don't think they would have. I hope they would have supported it. But anyway, okay. But yeah, she kind of says, convenient. Yeah, he picks and chooses where it's convenient for him to use that religious crutch. And that's not cool. And just speaking as a spiritualist, once you kind of get on that spiritual path, whatever your path is, you should be committed to it. You got to walk the walk, not talk the talk. Everybody knows that. We all have some kind of common sense. That's why it's important, be a good person and, do whatever it is, help people, whatever it is, whatever it is, that hopefully, that and also because you want to, not just because you should, not just because of books, but because you really in your heart want to and you really care. Okay, hopefully we all can get there and have some compassion, some empathy, humanity, and things, and hopefully, yes, transform heart, spirit, and all that. And hey, we've all done things we're not proud of. And maybe that's why that Jesus, you saw that Jesus picture, if you watch the midterms pop up, and I'm like, ah, shit, Jesus. I know Jesus. And that's why, but if somebody, I know Jesus talked about hypocrites too. And if somebody's going to go up there and say one thing, and they're going to vote one way, but they're all about this shit, is fucked up. I'm sorry. It's just way, way wrong. Okay. The campaign used the woman's desire to remain anonymous to raise money, saying it's his first fundraising email after the news broke out. Now they're using an anonymous source to further slander me. Okay. The maid has used the woman's star. Okay. Asked how she felt about the campaign's boast that Walker was a record-setting saw record-setting contributions in the hours after he called her a liar. I hope that's not true. I hope people don't start throwing money at somebody. The woman said she hoped they would give the money away. It would be really nice if when he loses, they would turn the money over to someone who needs it. Absolutely. She said, but they won't. Maybe to a mental health organization. It would be really nice of them, instead of taking that and putting it in some other politician's pocket, they used it to help someone else. Walker finds his campaign in crisis as election day is a month away. Good. Thank God. But will it do anything? Because Raphael Warnock, like I said in the articles, has a slight lead. I don't know where he's at. I don't know if there's a recent poll. We'll look in a sec. The outcome of the race could tip the balance of the Senate. And see, that's why, guys, we need to focus on Georgia. And that's why I said, I know it's ridiculous that I'm even looking at this, but we have to. This is actually a very critical state. That's freaking sad. This is where we are, though. This is America. Okay? And polls are tight. They are tight. Recent surveys taken before the abortion news broke show Walker narrowly trailing his Democratic opponent, Senator Raphael Warnock. And so far, I need to dig a little more, but I did find an article, just kind of look. I haven't dwelled much into Raphael Warnock, but it looks like he comes, from, kind of a family that, obviously there was Christian values, religious, big family, 11 kids, and but looks like they stayed all together, tight knit, and everything. There's a lot of love in the family, and all that, so he's got family values, but he is Democrat. Okay, it's all good. But the woman's allegation has reframed the race. Even with all the lies that he kept getting, stepping into, and the idiot statements showing he's not qualified to do the job, should have had him way back. But this now is I'm hoping this is the thing that can really propel Raphael Warnock, because like I said, Georgia is critical, especially for women's rights and all this stuff that we care about. Okay. According to Daily Beast reporting, after Walker and the woman first conceived the child in 2009, he urged her to have an abortion and then reimbursed her for it. The woman provided a receipt from the clinic, so she's got receipts, guys, showing the date of the procedure. Oh, God bless her. The date of the procedure, along with a signed personal check, had mailed herself inside a get. So we put the check, get well card, all that. And like I said, Christian in the vid verified. That's his signature. That's not. She's got the receipt. She's got a lot of stuff. Canceled check. Okay. But many Republican backers and media personalities, including Walker himself, have seized on the woman's nominee. Okay, we know that. But yeah, it's huge stuff. Okay, so yeah, I've read pretty much most of it that we need. Oh yeah, okay, let me just throw out one more thing here though. He did accept responsibility for the kid we did have together, and now he isn't accepting responsibility for the one that we didn't have. That says so much about how he views the role of women in childbirth versus his own. And now he wants to take that choice away from other women and couples entirely, she said. This was a decision I had to make twice about my future and a potential child's future, and I was able to make it both times. And Herschel was also able to have a say. The fact now he thinks it's okay to just take that the way, she said, I just can't understand. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But I do understand. It's called hypocrisy and stuff. And, it's absolutely ridiculous. And here we are. Now, this is what I want to say here also. For those, if anybody, I just want to throw it out there. If anybody from the other side kind of pops up, especially if you're in Georgia and you're Republican, and all that good stuff, whatever. But if you're, there are those that are sitting there and they're kind of, this is where they're at. Winning Georgia is more important than who this guy is. That's kind of where quite a bit of Republicans are at the moment. That we're kind of stuck with this dude, but if we lose Georgia, so he's kind of a sacrifice we got to make. That's where a lot of them are. There's actually, let me see if I can find it. Hold on one second. USA Today and Herschel Walker and paying for an abortion. Okay, let me see if this is, hold on if I can find it. Because I saw something that was, hold on one second. Is this the one? There's a couple. Where's that? Where's the one? Oh, I wish I want to get the right one. Give me a moment. No, that's not the one. There's something that, it was so crazy. I was just looking at it. Hold on. Here it is. Now, I when I first started reading this, I just want you to understand, because it is kind of the audacity, but yet this is satire. I will warn you, but at first when I began reading it, even though I'm psychic, I started going, is this real? Is this satire? Is this The Onion? But no, it's a whole... It's USA Today. The author is Rex Hupke. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And it is satire. So I'm going to prep you that it's satire, but yet it's kind of not. And it's actually very clever the way they wrote it. So I'm going to read it, and then but I wanted to spill the tea on that, and then I'm going to start heading out. I know I preach very long on this because, like I said, I'm passionate about things, but especially if somebody but let me make a statement before I read this because this article is pretty awesome. Hey, we all have contended to as spiritualists we get the ego, we got to figure out what we're not, this that all that good stuff. We've all kind of done that kind of thing, right? We've all, and we got to learn who we really are, and anybody who's a spiritualist, we all do that. Kind of got to face our things, face our past and everything, to kind of figure out who we are as spiritualists. We're trying to do the work, the trauma, whatever. Okay, and stuff. We can understand and relate to certain things when it comes to that, and try to be a better person. But this is completely, this is 100% different kind of thing. There's so much there and stuff. And then just like I said, he's just not qualified. The stupid things he says. If I just took him right there, and why this is happening is this somebody they can prop up there, and then the real people manipulate the issue. They get them just to do their bidding. Pretty much looks like it. Okay. All right, so here's the article. It's pretty clever, guys. I haven't read the entire, but I read quite a little bit when I was kind of sitting there, and I'm like, this is good and stuff. So let's read it together. But I did read a good little chunk, and I did sit there for a moment. Is this satire or is this real? Is this? And then further in, I said, okay, it is satire, but it's real too. It's just, listen. USA Today. I read you the author. The title. I don't care if Herschel Walker paid for an abortion or if he blew up the planet Alderaan. Here we go. There's a report that Herschel Walker, the staunchly anti-abortion Republican running in Georgia's Senate race, got a woman pregnant that paid her for an abortion back in 2009. Like other staunchly anti-abortion Republicans, I have one thing to say about that. Don't care. Never a satire, okay? Dana Losh, a conservative radio host and former spokesperson for the National Rifle Association, put it best when she said, I don't care if Herschel Walker paid to abort endangered baby eagles. I want to control the Senate. Satire. Okay. Abortions are unacceptable, except for this one. That's a big in bold. Amen, sister. Abort those ego babies. Like Losh, I believe deeply in the sanctity of life and oppose all abortions, except for this one, which I will accept to prevent it from costing my party control of the Senate. The right to control our own fates is at stake. Can suburban women save it? Republicans should have been ready. Dump in Rome may backfire on abortion opponents. The report came from the Daily Beast, and all they had to back it up was a receipt from the abortion buyer, a canceled check Walker sent the woman 5 days after the procedure, and a get well card Walker sent the check in. Walker denies the whole thing and claims he doesn't know the woman who, as the Daily Beast reported Wednesday, is also the mother of one of his children. I'm going to have to side with Walker on this one because I want my party in power and believe it's a sin to use the word hypocrisy. Control of the Senate is what matters here, and he played football. Okay. As a matter of fact, I don't think Losh went far enough in defending Walker with her hypothetical ego abortion clinic. Like the many Republicans who rush in to stick up for Walker in the wake of the abortion news, I don't care if the former football star is an ancient, transdimensional, shape-shifting entity of pure evil that takes the form of a clown named Pennywise and terrorizes a small town in Maine. I want control of the Senate, and I'm sure Walker regrets any past desire to feed on humans. And let's see, hold on, okay. The destruction of a planet or two is fine if it leads to power. And they've got a little, the Death Star in there. Okay. Heck, I don't care if Walker oversaw the construction of a moon-sized space station that blew up the 2 billion person planet of Alderaan, then later got in an argument with his son and chopped his right hand off. We have to secure the Georgia Senate seat so we can stop President Joe Biden's immoral agenda. I'm not the least bit bothered if Walker, in the year 1219, let loose the Mongol hordes on the, hopefully I can pronounce this right, Khwarezmian Empire in Persia after the Shah Allah ad-Din Muhammad II broke a treaty. Control of the Senate is of tantamount importance to the moral fabric of our nation. Ruling murder isn't so bad when you think about it. The possibility Walker may have been described in the epic Anglo-Saxon poem Beowulf as the monster Grendel, accursed of God, the destroyer and devourer of our humankind, doesn't bother me a whip if it leads to a Republican becoming Senate Majority Leader. And the additional claims that he slaughtered the inhabitants of the Mead Hall of Hirat and built King. I don't know where he's getting all these characters. A minor detail if the power to cut corporate taxes is in play. No, I see no logical or moral inconsistency between my firmly held religious beliefs and the lack of concern I would feel if I learned Walker had remained a non-corporeal evil for centuries before rising again to land of Mordor and bringing the Dark Fortress, Barad-dur, help me out, Lord of the Rings people, not far from Mount Doom. And if he gathered massive armies of orcs and trolls and tricked the elven smith Celebrant into forging the rings of power, well, that's a small price to pay to defeat Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock, who is a pastor and has probably never paid to import endangered baby eagles. He probably hasn't. I see that whole I can't talk about it because I want you guys to see my thing. Never mind. I was about to talk about the read, as far as who I feel is gonna win Georgia. Okay, so far. Basically, nothing matters as long as we win. The discovery that Walker is, in fact, the Dark Lord Voldemort, he who must not be named, and is plotting with the help of the Death Eaters to rid the world of Muggles, would in no way impact my support for a candidate whose qualifications include being somewhat famous. I want control of the Senate. Getting Herschel Walker elected is key to that end. And if it means that being okay in finding out he once snapped his fingers while wearing the Infinity Gauntlet and honestly wiped out half of all life in the universe, well, so be it. I'm not about to let morality I use to disguise my craven thirst for power to get in the way of my craven thirst for power. And, yeah, that's fully satire, very humorous, but it's damn true. That's pretty much, that is the extremes, right? What's it going to take for you to say, okay, maybe we shouldn't vote for that guy? Okay, that's kind of what he's saying. But there are those that, no matter how dark he is, we got to take the Senate. Okay? And everything. But y'all, what if he's the Antichrist? You dumbasses. This is why the Antichrist is going to take over the world, because you're all too dumb to see when someone's dark and you're willing to do whatever just to put somebody in. You're going to put the Antichrist in power. Let's put. If I want to talk to the Christians, y'all going to elect him. Y'all going to put him in power. Okay, the one you're so shit. Y'all dumb enough. Okay. And everything. Not that I'm all into the Antichrist thing. I'm doing satire too at this point. But it's true. If it's just like if Jesus showed up, they would probably crucify him. They would kick him off a plane. All that. They would not let him. They do everything to stop him from getting to the country. They'd ship him off to the whatever that one state where they shipped all the immigrants on a plane and everything. Martha's Vineyard. That's where Jesus would go. If Jesus showed up, okay, there's DeSantis. DeSantis would put Jesus on a plane and send him over to Martha's Vineyard. I'm not kidding, guys. Okay, but if the Antichrist shows up and everything is like, what? And everything, here we go. Come here. So come on in. Let's make a nice meal for you. And so, yeah, you got my vote. Yeah, here. Let me get my little purse. Let me get you a little donation money, because that's how whack they are right now. That's how stupid this is right now. This is how ignorant. This is where America has become, guys. So anyway, just wanted to unload on that. I've already talked an hour about the hypocrisy, and man, I'm done. But I'm sorry. It needed to come out. It needed to be said and be heard and everything like that and stuff, with what is coming to. So, I just wanted you to kind of know, the other side, the one that the woman Like I said, I don't know which girlfriend, mother, or child this is. I'm not even going to try to probe. She may end up having to step forward. I don't know. But hopefully, she. I'm hoping she won't have to, but it's somewhere somebody's going to figure it out. You know it is. Somebody's probably going to figure it out, but she's trying to keep. She wants to keep her kid out of it because obviously, look what Christian Walker is going through right now. He's stressed out. He's very stressed out, about shit. But we'll see what's coming. We'll see what's coming. And yep, I'm gonna get some more midterms going on soon. I'm debating. I'm getting my eyes checked today. Yahoo! I'm gonna get. I hopefully I can find a pair of frames with bling. That's what I like. And then so I'm debating if I'm gonna take a little break, have a little lunch and do midterms, or if I'll wait till after I get my glasses done. I got to figure it out and stuff. Who knows? I might be too tired, but I will get those midterms and get the other candidates. But yeah, I just had to unpack that, guys. This is what it's come to in America. It's almost like a mini Trump. It's like a mini Trump situation, only because it's not the president, it's the Senate, and it's another liar. Okay, just want to unpack that.